Thank you for having me here. I wish I was there with you in person and I could give each one of you a warm hug. But unfortunately, due to the pandemic, I'm giving this from afar. But I hope I'm able to transfer all my experiences to you today, and I hope you can derive value from what I share today. So, thank you for the kind words that have been said. I am a 17-year-old TOT, and I'm a very ordinary woman. My background has been extremely humble and ordinary, and you will see in the next slide how ordinary it is. But what has been extraordinary in my life has been my extraordinary set of parents, my extraordinary set of friends that has got me to where I am today. And my journey as an insurance advisor has been nothing short of a life-changing experience. So allow me to begin with where it all began, how I started in this industry. So I'm married with one husband and two kids, and I got my bachelor's degree actually in botany and zoology. So I did not even know the spelling of insurance. After 15 years of married life, my husband said, Preeti, the children are growing up and you have so much extra time on hand, you're going to eat my head when I come home in the evening every day. So why don't you take up a profession? And I said, I love watching TV, being there for my kids, helping them with their assignments. Why should I go door to door selling insurance? He said, it's a new industry coming up. Why don't you just try it? And friends, only to oblige him, I took the exam. But that changed my life. Initially, I was actually pushed into it by my husband. But the moment I studied for that insurance exam, I realized that this is a magical profession. With one single premium check, you can actually bring a peace of mind for lifelong for a family. Then why isn't everyone buying insurance? The insurance penetration in my country was only 2%. So there was some mismatch in what insurance can offer and in terms of what the people conceive about it. So I entered this profession to make a change, to make a difference in people's lives and give them that peace of mind. And that's how I started in this business. My very first client was not about what I want to sell to him. I just vomited out all that I had learned in the 1 month, of going to school, talking about insurance as a concept, about securing his family if he really loves them. And after 1 hour of explaining to him, he said, Preeti, how much do I sign on the check? And I had no answer. That's when I realized that I needed to have an answer to every objection. So my very first sale taught me a huge experience. First of all, when I blurted out the number, how much should I sign on the check, I gave him a huge number. Friends, it was a huge amount and he just signed the check to my surprise. So what did I learn from my very first sale? Number one, you have to be your own best client. You have to buy before you sell. Only when you experience, a shoe, if you're a shoe seller, unless you've worn that shoe, how will you be able to convince the client to buy that shoe? So be your own best client. Secondly, you have to illustrate with big amounts. How was my very first sale so big? I illustrated with a huge amount. Never underestimate the pockets of your client. Always add 10, like Brian Hackett says, or Tony Gordon says. I would say go ahead and add 2 extra zeros because any amount of money is never enough for the family when you are no more. The third thing that I learned was that you have to have a script for every objection. My client asked me, how much should I sign on the check? And I didn't have an answer. So I was thorough after that anything he says, I do not have time. Now, Preeti, I have enough insurance. Why don't you come back another day? Is this going to perform better than the market? you have to have a script ready for any objection that comes your way. So be thorough about that. And the last thing that I learned from my very first sale was, why did I make that big sale? Did I sell a product? No. Did I ask the client any questions? No. That sale happened because I sold a concept. I sold the concept, not a product, not me. I sold him the importance of insurance. And trust me, friends, since that day till today, that's the first thing I do when I go to a client. So anyway, before I knew it, I was hooked onto the bandwagon of insurance selling, and there was no looking back. Within a month, friends, I qualified for MDRT. My manager said, Preeti, you won gold. I said, what? I thought you just got commissions. He said, no, there's a contest going on and you've won so many grams of gold. I said, interesting, is there any other contest running? And he said, yeah, there's a contest MDRT which runs, right from January. And it was November when I was first time licensed. And he said that there's only a month left, Preeti. I don't think you can qualify for that contest, just forget about it. Now what do you do when someone says you can't do it? You go ahead and do it, right? So I set a goal for myself that I have to do MDRT come what may. And within a month, friends, just based on that concept selling, I qualified for MDRT in that very first year, in the very first month. And I went running excitedly to him. I said, oh, now what do I get? I've qualified for MDRT. He said, we don't know what you'll get because we are new as a company in India. And maybe you should, we know you have to pay money to register for it, and then, but you'll be the first one in Prudential's history to become a member. So he just, sort of pepped me up, and I paid the money and nothing happened. After about a couple of months, he said, Preeti, you're the only MDRT member from our company. You can go to US to attend the meeting. I said, really? He said, well, you have to pay $700. I said, what a contest you've introduced me to. I'm paying money, not getting anything. He said, but you'll be the first in the history, so why don't you go and come back and tell us what you found? So friends, I attended my very first conference in Nashville, and that changed my life. For 4 days, I was just taking down notes, my head started paining, my neck started paining, because there was so much to take down. By the minute you have sales ideas and people sharing best practices, I highly recommend that each of you has to attend an MDRT meeting, and once you start attending, you'll be hooked onto it. It's like you've tasted blood. Pin drop silence in those 4 days of conference. 7,000 people just hungry to learn. Then no sooner did I come back, the way I did business changed further. It was no more about the gold or the commission. Everything went out of the window. It was to make an impact on my clients' families. And within a couple of months, I qualified as the #1 advisor of the country. And once again, for the second year and the third year, for 3 continuous years, I was the #1 advisors. And then there's our company Star Club. Year on year, I have qualified for all the 20 Star Clubs. I'm sure there are clubs in your companies as well. It's always good to achieve something, but when the agenda behind is not to achieve it, but to make a difference in your clients' families, then success automatically follows. I had lots of, commitments in these 20 years. Both my children gave their, board exams, their undergraduate, applying for grad schools in the US, me changing a new home, my daughter's marriage, but nothing comes in the way. Nothing came in the way. You do all your duties, but your focus should be raised. You should have a razor focus. And I have qualified for TOT ever since. So now coming to sharing. what I would really, I don't know really what made me make these 17, 18 TOTs, but let me share with you the simple things that I've done in every presentation year on year that possibly could be the reason of this success. Number one, my activization has been 100%, which means that there's not a single month when I've not made a sale. My productivity has been 2 logins a week. So last 20 years, on an average, I've done 2 logins every week. And my yearly persistency is 99%, which means only 1% of my clients from 5 years old have lapsed their policies or have not been able to pay. So what do these 3 things mean? These are not goals that I want to earn this much commission, I want to sell to so many clients per year. I don't set goals, I set benchmarks. These are benchmarks that I've set for myself, not competing with anyone. And when do you achieve these benchmarks? It's very simple, the 3 pillars of any insurance sale. Your activization is 100% when you are prospecting well. Your production is high when you're presenting and closing well. And your persistency is high when you have sold well, you have serviced well. So it's a very simple funda, friends. You have to be a right person before becoming a right salesperson. When you go to a client at the prospecting stage, you have to do a proper need analysis. The sale has to become a pull rather than a push. Identify the underlying needs. Ask the right questions to gather a lot of data. And coming to the servicing part, let me actually get into details in each of these 3 pillars. So prospecting, coming to prospecting, how many sales do you think I do a day? When I started in the business, how often do you think that I approached a client? They say you have to make 10 calls to make 3 appointments to close 1 sale. But that was not what I did. For me, insurance selling was a way of life. I was breathing, eating, drinking, sleeping insurance. Not about what I'm going to sell or earn, but I just felt that anybody I met, I had to talk to them about the importance of securing their families. So anyone who came to me, I was talking about insurance. Even my vegetable vendor. Now, do you think I would have gotten a policy from the vegetable vendor? He did not even have his, KYC, the Know Your Client, the basic documents that are required for an insurance sale. He did not have that. So why was I selling him insurance? He was never going to be my client. Because for me, as I said, insurance selling was a way of life. And I told him, even if you don't have money to buy insurance, at least start saving in a small savings account, start collecting for your future. And friends, believe it or not, this fellow became my biggest center of influence. In the whole building next day, he was talking about me. And I got clients from my own apartment building. Just because I sold the concept of insurance to this vegetable vendor with no agenda of getting business from him. So you have to be open-minded to give, not to take from your clients. It has to be something that gets you excited to get up each morning. Treat this as a noble profession. And secondly, you have to communicate. Out of sight is out of mind. How many times do you go to your clients? Either next year when you are collecting their renewal premium, or maybe on their birthdays or anniversaries. What else? Maybe some servicing points if they call you. No, friends, you have to connect with your clients at least 6 times in a year. Because anytime somebody is talking to them about insurance, your name should come right to their fore. Simple things like sharing your achievement. You don't have to have achieved MDRT or COT or TOT. Maybe you are the one who made the biggest sale for the month in your branch. Or it could just be that you've come to this conference, so you can, advertise that. Write a mail to your clients. You'd be happy to know that your advisor is among the top 5% that was chosen to attend a learning conference. Anything, share any beautiful achievement with your clients. You'll be surprised how happy they will be for you. See, successful people want to do business with successful people. And how do you show to them that you're a successful advisor? By communicating that to them, right? So, and you'll be surprised the amount of business that will start coming to you. For example, when I came back from my first MDRT conference, I wrote to my clients, you'll be happy to know that your advisor was among the 1% who attended the $1 Million Roundtable Conference in the United States. And she wrote back, let me share her mail with you. Preeti, many congratulations from our side. We also have good news to share that our daughter Alia is now 7 months old and hope to see you soon, and why don't you make a plan for her? So what happened? I just wrote a mail about my achievement and I got business. Here's another mail. Congratulations to yourself, Preeti. Kindly assist me today in taking and closing a policy for my wife. So just a mail, I actually started getting business. There's another way I communicate with my client, when a child is born in the family. Typically when a child is born, I ask them to start something for their baby, for her future marriage or education, etc. And most of them do not immediately start, right? The baby is just born, they're not even thinking so far away. But nonetheless, what I do is send them a slide on her second birthday. And this goes in their mail. Allow me to share this with you. And so when he opens the mail in the inbox, this is what he sees. Imagine this client has a 2-year-old daughter named Anya, and she is flashbacking when she is 25 years old. So as if Anya is speaking to him when she is 25. Okay? Dad, had you invested when you met Preeti auntie when I was just born, 10,000 a month for 25 years at 10% would have grown to 13.26 million. But thank God you finally signed papers on my second birthday. So 10,000 a month in 23 years has grown to 10.66 million. Cost of waiting for only 2 years, 2.6 million. Geez, Dad, you could have got me a Tesla in that amount on my 25th birthday, and that would have made you so happy. But don't worry, Dad. I've turned only 2 today. You can still gift me one when I'm 27. So imagine, friends, won't that blow my client's mind away? And you don't have to worry about, where to get the baby's photo. All of them literally look alike, except for the headgear. Can you really tell who is, different from who? But of course, you have Facebook, etc. these days from where you can take their baby's picture. So this is a fun way to wish your clients, but at the same time, you have sown the seeds of the urgency to start now and not wait for 2 years. You have explained the concept of cost of waiting in a fun way, and it doesn't necessarily have to be the child's birthday, whether it's retirement planning or reaching any financial goal. You can do such a graphical representation to explain your point of view. Coming to the presentation stage, you have to ask the right questions and then wait for the answer. Listen. And by asking the right questions, for example, you don't directly say, when do you want to retire? You have to say, what do you feel about retirement? What are your dreams for your retirement? You don't have to say, when do you think your child will get married? Or at what age do you think she will, graduate? You have to ask, what are your dreams for your daughter? How do you see her as she grows bigger? What do you think she will need in life from you? So ask the right questions and then pay attention. You have to listen. God has given us 2 ears and 1 mouth. So ask an open-ended question and shut up. So that you're able to gather as much data as you can, so that you can really present to them a solution that they require and not a product that you wanted to sell. For example, I went to my client's home one day, and we were in the middle of a presentation, and his young daughter, maybe 5 or 6 years old, she came running along. This client of mine did not tell her to go back into the room. he actually stopped me and he spoke to her for literally 5 minutes. What did I gather? He had called me for a retirement plan. But when I saw how important this little, bundle of joy was for him, that he actually stopped my presentation, I realized that I needed to give something first for his daughter and not his retirement plan. And friends, I walked out with a huge check for child education. So it's not just listen, but be creative, apply what you have heard in order to help him achieve his dreams. You have to add value. The next thing he told me, Preeti, her birthday is coming up, and I had sent him numbers of person who could come with balloons. I helped him with someone who could have a theme party for him. So be of value to your clients outside of what he needs from you, more than what you think he needs from you. Coming to presentation, you have to make an impression within the first 60 seconds. And how do you do that? What is the first thing that you give your client? Of course, your handshake, your body language, your dress, all that is done in 3 seconds. Other than that, it's your visiting card. Don't just say I'm an insurance advisor. For example, mine says financial guardian, okay? It used to say financial gardener actually, but I keep developing my visiting cards for them to be more and more effective and attractive. And when I meet my client, now this is something I learned at MDRT. After you exchange, you tell the client to flip the visiting card and write on the back 2 names who will take care of their wife and their children when they are no more. Trust me, not a single client has been able to write 2 names who will take care of his wife and children when he is no more. And then at that time you flip the card again and you say, I'm going to be there when you are no more, through the policy that you buy for them. So you know that they're going to miss you when you're no more, but you have to make sure that they don't miss anything else. So insurance selling, friends, is actually a transference of feeling. You have to sell like you're buying, as if what would you do, what would you buy if you were in his shoes, and then everything will come out from your heart. You have to sharpen your saw. As I said, 95%, I always say 95% of the time is your relationship building and your how you know the client well. But 5% is the knowledge, but you better be thorough in that 5% of your knowledge. As I said, I was a housewife for 15 years, but after that, as soon as I gave my insurance exam, I have been taking certifications after certifications just to, sharpen my saw, because then when you're thorough with your knowledge, you go there with confidence. And invest in yourself. So in my very first year, unknowingly, I invested in becoming an MTRT member. I invested in traveling all the way to the US to attend the conference, and that has brought me has given me immense returns. It's not just about what you learn from there, the MDRT Foundation, the blog, the friendships that you make, the committees that you get inducted in, you develop yourself as a leader. I mean, there are zillions of ways how MDRT will shape up your professional and eventually even your personal life. If you go, as soon as you become a member, you have access to the website. There's a resource zone, and you have, ideas from conferences that have taken place, over the years. Everything is there for you just to, absorb like a sponge. If, for example, if you just typed, in the search box, Preeti Kucheria, you'll find so many of the articles that I have written over there. And you know what is surprising? You don't even have to be a member. There's so much content available even for non-members. So you could type a Tony Gordon or a Sanjay Tolani, and it will bring up all that they have shared over the years. So this is one big mantra. Please visit the website and see what all you can gain from there. And secondly, Ideas are there, but you have to apply it immediately into your next presentation. Then you can become part of the MDRT blog, you know. You just sign on, and every day in your mailbox, you will get one idea a day. Why are you not getting referrals? The importance of planning your purpose in this business. 8 unusual places to find high net worth clients, etc., etc. It's a storehouse of rich information. Finally, coming to success. What does success mean to you, friends? For some of you, it may mean money, for some recognition and awards, name, fame, achievements, leadership opportunities, etc., etc. Do you want to know what has been my yardstick of success? For me, client satisfaction and appreciation is my biggest source of pleasure, or the reason why I get up every morning. All these awards that you see behind me, frankly, have lost their sheen. And let me share with you the real awards that keep me going. On any dull day, all I have to do is go to my inbox and read any such mail, and I'm charged up for the day. Look at one of these letters. They say, thanks for your email and support. I wonder whether the word excellent is sufficient to describe your quality of service that you've provided. I'm looking for a long-term association with you. Another mail, thank you very much for all your help. I would never have been able to enlist myself for a medical insurance. And I would definitely like to recommend you to more people. So you have to become referable. Once you've made a good sale that you know solved a solution for a client, and you've given great service, you become referable. I have not done a cold call in so many years. All this while I have made it to TOT based only on referrals, because I give my clients a wow experience. I have shared in a separate presentation, you know, how to wow the client, how to convert your clients from wow to aha, to them feeling aha about you. But that I will share with you some other day. Coming to the last part, which is the most important part, and that is your family is your biggest asset. Don't we tell our clients you need to secure your family's future, etc., etc.? But what are you doing to maintain that work-life balance? Trust me, if your personal life is soaring, your professional life will automatically soar. So the biggest tip for you today is to maintain that work and life balance, and you know, success will just follow you. In the end, I would just like to say that you cannot discover new lands or have new experience till you have left the shore. So you get out of your comfort zone, you know. Even if you apply these simple fundas that I've told you in every of your sale, you will realize that TOT is not far away from you. Yes, you will encounter obstacles along the way that will dampen your spirit, but stay positive. Be around positive people. Learn from your mentors. Have mentors for yourself. So all I'm saying, friends, is that through the path of insurance, you have to start touching lives. You have to make a difference to more families. When you're going to your client, forget about the commission, forget about the contests. You know, go there to establish a relationship. One of my participants told me that, Priti, how do you handle rejection? I said, sorry, I won't be able to answer your question because I've never been rejected in 20 years. Why? Because I've never gone to make a sale. When I'm going to my client, I'm not going there to sell. I'm going there to establish a relationship. So how have I walked back empty-handed? Only when you look at this profession as a noble one, you will make a paradigm shift in the way you start selling, and in the way you will start succeeding after that. So thank you, friends. Remember, if an ordinary person like me can do it, anyone can. Thank you.